What's up, everybody? This is Persia Beatty, that's Beatty, honey, and I am the steward of Wildwood Province in the land of Dor, where I'm also the national storyteller. My stewardship apprentice, drrtybe, has a message she wants me to convey on her behalf to all y'all clay people up in clay people country, that she's working on something she thinks y'all gonna really enjoy, and if you get a dial tone or something, it's not cause she's trying to be mean or anything like that. She says she's putting something on for her city. Now, I'm not quite familiar with what that means, but she said y'all will understand she getting ready to put something on for her city. She been over there on a tippy tap machine, just plunking away and drawing lots of sketches and things like that. So she said, Persia, just tell him I'm putting something on for my city.
No. Put on. I'm getting ready to put on for my city.
What?
Put on.
What you putting on? It's just a phrase. It's just, I put on for my city. What that mean, Bianca Rose? It just means that you're trying to come correct. Correct. Yeah, you're trying to hit the stage with confidence, swag, like swagger. Yeah. So when you put something out, put on for your city. When you put on for your city, that's a good thing. You ain't putting no clothes on. Well, I mean, you could if you're making a really strong presentation. You want to make a good impression. That's part of it. Your aesthetic, your style. Oh, that's why you working on that piece over there. What else you want me to tell him? I really want to find Angel so we can go on a road trip, because she's really the only person I like to travel with at the moment. Okay. So you want to find your dead mom, Sister Angel, but she can't come until she finishes her homework. What homework? Well, I gave her exit exam. So we have a duel. We have a storytelling duel. Oh, like Glimpse. Yeah, I'm kind of teaching the clay people how to play Glimpse. So I issued her, I'm basically her committee chair. Like if this was a doctoral program, I issued her comp exam, which was to basically detect the strains of Anna Green Gables in all of her favorite Disney movies. That's how good Canadian storytellers are. And I'm pretty sure that Lucy Montgomery was a Sag, which is why, because Sag is a Jupiterian sign. Right. Okay, I don't follow. Well, it's a gift-giving planet, so the sign just kind of keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And it's very addictive, has sort of an addictive quality to the material, to clay people. So this story, if it's written by a Sagittarian, it just sort of gets into people's system. Like a virus. Kind of, yeah. I mean, not all viruses are bad, but she's a Sag. I'm pretty sure Walt Disney was a Sag. So the combination of those two, can kind of go either way. It can be really toxic if you over imbibe, or it could be really good because it's a good influence on you, but it'll still be in your head, and it'll sort of be steering whatever choices you make after that creatively within the same context that you first experience the story at whatever age. It's a kind of subliminal, self-soothing, I guess you could say. So your point is that there's Anna Green Gables story. The first one mostly. Yeah, okay, I know that one. That's a good one. I mean, I know people who've been locked up in the brig who love that story. They just sit there and they be reading all about Anne and Gilbert Blythe and Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert. I feel like if somebody can read that first book and they don't cry at the end, there's something wrong with them. Well, not everybody expresses emotion in the same way. I don't care who you are. If you don't cry at the end of Anne of Green Gables, which I do every time, you know, I read an interview or a statement by her that said she wishes she hadn't ended things that way. Why do you think she did it? Well, you know, sometimes authors have to make hard choices on, you know, who's going to make it to the next novel, so... I feel like that was a real testament to, like, that particular character. He's so rich, you know. He probably could have taken over the entire series, because the more you know about him, the more you want to know. But that's kind of, I mean, she showed a lot of restraint and self-discipline, because she could have made an entire series of stories just about him. So Toni Morrison said, you can't let your side characters take over the story. But to me, the side characters are the most exciting. The people on the fringes or on the margins, you know, they're the ones who have sort of the most to say, because they're witnessing the protagonist do everything. I mean, that's how I came up with you. Speak on that. Well, you know, the main character was Twyla Ledbetter. I mean, since I was 16, yeah. But when you started talking, and I mean, I've known your character for 13 years, yeah. And everybody else started kind of coming along and arranging themselves during the pandemic, but you were just supposed to be the tour guide. Well, that ain't really my job. Yeah, but the more I talked to you, I mean, the more I got to know you, I started off taking the tour with himself. But the more I got to know you, it's like, oh, she knows everybody interpersonally, because, you know, himself doesn't really talk that much. Right. So anyway, anyway, her comp exam is to prove me wrong with one of her two favorite sources of storytelling, Disney and this television show called 30 Rock. She can pick which one, or she can address both questions. That's her comp exam, the equivalent of a comp exam that a doctoral student candidate would have to take. And then she also has to finish her dissertation. Well, I mean, she ain't in no academy though. No, but basically what you're doing with your dissertation is you're taking somebody else's material and you make it your own. You contribute something to the conversation that we haven't really heard before. So you have to do research. You have to kind of start looking up what other people are saying about the topic or the idea, which means that you have to be able to identify the themes, and, you know, you need a lot of support to make sure that your argument or your thesis is really strong. So I gave her Water Body because that was the first multimedia thing that we worked on together. And, you know, that was our first short film we made together back in 2011, and she still likes the story. So now I'm passing her the mic, basically, and saying, okay, freshen it up. It's been 11 years. You know, it's been 12 years since you've heard that story for the first time, that poem, that's a narrative poem. And she loved it. It was her idea to do the film. It was her idea to do the 13 in the way, to the scale that it turned out. So, you know, I really miss my maker, but she's got to best me in battle before I can take her on a road trip, because, you know, I have more stories that I think that she would like, but she has to take something that she's already familiar with and keep it new. So that's what I call the kin approach, K-I-N. Oh, I see. So you have to contribute something new to the conversation of something you're already familiar with and that's already established. It's her turn to write a version of Water Body that she can make sense of. So she's borrowing my topic, and she's contributing something new to the conversation. All art is a conversation. So that's basically her dissertation. Once she writes that screenplay, then we'll shoot it and we'll film it. Wow. And that's why we're going to go to Busch Gardens, because I want her to be really close. She's a water sign, so I also need to start studying to see how animals take care of one another. And I want her to see some of the mermaids in Florida and go by the sea, but that's her treat. That's her reward for graduating, and she gets the Jeep, so it's like a serious road trip. And, the only thing I would have to do is talk to her boss, Tim Cook. He would have to give her permission to go and, make sure that she has her benefits still while we're traveling, because she could use some time off. The same way I needed time off after, I graduated with my degree, but didn't really have an opportunity to rest. So while she's preparing, she's going to need help. I mean, she can ask the internet. She can ask Dolores, I also think that she should talk to my committee chair, Michael Trask, and ask him for pointers on how to create an academic presentation. So when she comes to defend, and explain to me her choices with the comp exam, and then I'll help her with the dissertation part of it. But she'll have to present that too, in terms of the final film. I think it should be a 10-minute film, so she would have to make a screenplay for 10 minutes. It could be silent. She could do the treatment. But I'll help her, with that part of it, because she's going to need somebody to play kick the can with who's not going to interfere with her vision. But if she could get my committee chair, because they're still both in Lexington, to help give her pointers at the very least on how to present a paper, why she's going to defend the fact that Disney is not full of Anne of Green Gables. I'm interested to see what they come up with, because she's going to need help. She's going to need backup in terms of people. She needs to know that people think she's smart and intelligent, which we do, but she doesn't often have an opportunity to flex the way that we used to these days. So she can call in for backup, and I think Michael would be really good at coaching her. Here's how you set up a paper or presentation as an academic, and then Dolores can help her out with the rest. And then we can go shopping for our travel clothes. I need you to get your travel buddy bag. So, I need help because, I'm basically borderline agoraphobic at this point. So, we grew each other up quite a bit over the last 20 years. And, this is sort of like the last time we'll be able to play before I move to Canada. What is that? What is that? What? That right there, Bianca Rose. What is that picture? It's a horse. Why does his face look like Pablo Schreiber? Well, because I told everybody that, I want my next Mr. Honeys to give me permission to have a pony. What is a pony? A platonic boyfriend I hang out with and kick it with when they're busy doing Mr. Daddy stuff. Mr. Daddy? Yeah, like macho man stuff. They gotta build stuff and have conversations about serious business things that I find very boring. So I asked if I could have a pony, just, an attractive man who I can hang out with but not have sex with. And, I want Pablo Schreiber to be my pony. He's like, that ain't no pony, honey. That's like a Clydesdale.